Say my name. Heisenberg. You're goddamn right.
Have you ever wondered exactly when a good person crosses the line into becoming a monster? Just wait for a couple of moments, then you will realize why the family loving Walt transformed into money loving Heisenberg. Today we are breaking down the dark psychological transformation of Walter White into Heisenberg. By looking deep into his mind, you will discover the hidden psychological trap that turn ordinary peoples like you and me into villains, and how to spot these dangerous patterns in your own life before it's too late. Let's look back at the where it all started. Before the met the money and the body, Walter White, he was co-founded a multi-billion dollar company called Grey Matter. Well, actually it was not that big, so he walked away selling his share for mere $5,000. Years later, he stopped teaching chemistry to bored high school student who does not respect him. He worked a second job at a car wash just to pay the bills, scrubbing the tires of his own students' luxury cars. The psychological detail here is vital. Walt is not just poor, he is deeply humiliated every single day. He suffers from a psychological phenomenon known as relative deprivation. He constantly compares his current reality to the massive wealth and success of his former partners. This creates a mountain of subconscious resentment. Then, on his 50th birthday, Walt learns he has a terminal lung cancer. The clock is ticking, his family is broke, and his entire life feels like a cruel joke. He realizes he is about to die, leaving absolutely nothing behind. Walt does not cook meat just to pay for his cancer treatment or to secure his family's financial future. That is just the rationalization used to protect his ego. The twist is that the cancer diagnosis acts as a psychological relief valve. It frees him from the fear of social consequences. For the first time in his life, Walt decided to break the rules because he feels society cheated him first. Think, think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever felt like you deserved more and watched someone else take credit for your work? Could have done better? That burning feeling in your chest is the exact same seed that started Walter White's transformation. As Walt dives deeper into the criminal underworld, his psychological mutation accelerates. He teams up with Jesse Pinkman and creates a chemically pure product. Suddenly, the submissive teacher is born, and he adopts the terrifying alter ego named Heisenberg. Psychological concept of overcompassion. For decades, Walt felt powerless, pushed around by his boss, his wife, and his circumstance. Heisenberg is a psychological defense mechanism against that powerlessness. The black pork pie hat, that dark sunglasses are not just disguise for the police. They are a psychological mask that allows Walt to act out his suppressed desires for dominance and control. The challenge multiplies when the Walt faces real hardened criminals like Tulo Salman. Walt is completely out of his depth. He is a middle-aged man with lab coat facing psychopathic Carter killers. He should be terrified, and logically, he is. We witness another massive plot twist. Instead of running away, Walt walks directly into Tupo's headquarters and blows their face up with a fulminated mercury. He walks out with the money and newfound respect. As he sits in his car afterward, he screams with intense tremor adrenaline. This is exact moment Walt became addicted. He's not addicted to a substance, he's addicted to power. The danger of this psychological trap is that once you get a taste of total control, after feeling helpless for so long, you will destroy everything around you just to feeling that feeling. Walt rules his empire, but the psychological trap finally springs shut. He has all the money he ever wanted, stacked in a giant pile in a storage unit, yet he is completely miserable. This represents the psychological concept of hidden adaptation mixed with pure physics. The goalpost kept moving. First it was $730,000, then it was millions. Walt admits later that he was not in the med business or the money business, he was in the empire business. His ego required constant feeding because his internal sense of worth was completely broken. Then, final phase, total collapse of his facade. His brother-in-law Hank discovers the truth. His family turns on him. His sons reject his money, and Walt is forced to flee to a freezing, isolated cabin in New Hampshire, completely alone with his thoughts. Dwayne twist occur in confession to Skylar. For years he maintained that lie that everything was for the family. But in his final moments he looks her in the eye and confesses the absolute psychological truth. I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it and I was alive. What journey shows up the most dangerous villain is not one born evil. It is the ordinary person who uses past trauma, resentment and victim mentality to justify terrible choices. He chose the price over peace every single time. Walter White used loud, chaotic after ego to reclaim his lost power from the world. Some went to the exact opposite, absolute silence, unshakable stoicism, and the terrifying calm exterior to control the chaos around them. To understand how man can build empire not through exclusive anger but through complete emotional detachment, we found this video right here about the dark psychology of Thomas Shelby. See you there. Till then,